welcome back to my 1 cent. I'm Nicholas Johns. And I'm having a shitty week, a shitty month. It was my birthday. I went to a hockey game. My team lost 4-0. And all my friends were kind of talking shit about each other behind their back. Not mean or nothing, just kind of snipey stuff. Having a bad period, so I figured it was kind of important to get on here and I guess show a bitch, I guess. Show everybody what it's like. I don't know. One of my friends reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "I want to help, da 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 da." She's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, what isn't right? I got my dogs. Although Zeusy puked all over the place last night, and Chico woke up this morning, and as we're going outside, he ran over to my punching bag, which I took down, and peed all over it. He hasn't peed inside in forever. Zeusy hasn't puked in forever, but yeah, it's been a bad week. I'm hoping I'm on the outside of it. I was able to pop this monstrous zit this morning, so that's a good thing. His name was Balthazar. R.I.P. motherfucker. He'd been around for a couple of weeks now. I was breaking out. I don't know why. When I go through these periods, I just stay at home with my dogs. Nothing changes. My hygiene doesn't change. I still shower every day. I wash my face every day in the morning. Usually not at night. Sometimes. But usually I just shower before I go to crash out. Whatever. Yeah, I'm breaking out. Let's see. What else? I quit my job. My phone's all fucked up. Got a bunch of money stolen from me. My truck's fucked up. Hockey's a fucking joke. Got this weird hand thing going on. My back's fucked up. I can't touch anything without it turning to shit. I tried to go to the grocery store last night, and I pull up there and like 3 people parked right in front of the store, in the road, waiting for their significant other to run in and grab something. I was like, fuck this. I just went home. So, shit sucks. Usually I just put my head down and try to get through it. I'm lucky enough that I have, friends here that are reaching out to me. I was thinking of moving away. Probably shouldn't, I guess, just for that reason. It just sucks. It's been a shitty life. I can remember on one hand, moments where I was happy. I remember being happy when I had my restaurant in Madison and being like, I called my mom and I'm like, "Hey, something weird has happened." She's like, "What?" She got worried right away. I'm like, "I'm happy." And she said, "What?" And I go, I'm like happy. I don't know. I was walking down the street and like was just happy. And it so very rarely happens that I was kind of scared. And she's like, why? And I go, because I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop now. And sure enough, my investor slash landlord stole my restaurant. I was fucking back home managing a shitty Perkins with the worst fucking staff in the world. Yeah, so transportation's fucked up. My car broke down. I bought this Expedition, and it's just making an ungodly fucking sound. It sounds like there's rocks in the fucking engine rattling around. So that's gonna be a lot of money. I'm already $4,000 down because of that whole thing. Wells Fargo bent me over the ass. I had a bunch of money stolen. My card information was, I assume, was copied because one day I just had no funds in my account. There was an extended stay about an hour away from where I live that had been charging my account 16 different times over 3 days, cleared me out of $3,000. I assume, talking to the banker, and he could find out how it was basically manually run and authorized, which means the employee would have had to be in on it. Extended stay, but caters to that kind of clientele, so they didn't give a shit. Extended stay lady it took me forever to find somebody to file a report, and then when she finally got the information done, she's like, okay, I'll send it to the manager of that location. And I'm like, the manager of that location is the person that stole from me. She goes, what? I go, your locations are usually manned with one person, a front desk person that lives on that site that manages that location. That's the person that's been fraudulently running my card. And she goes, oh, sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry. And I was like, there's nothing else you can do, right? No, I'm sorry. So Wells Fargo, bring it into Wells Fargo, the banker goes, oh yeah, these investigations are usually pretty quick, and this one is clear cut fraud. All my charges are where I live, and then there's 3 different days where there's 16 charges. They're all for different amounts. So I figured what the front desk person was doing is he would wait until somebody came in and paid cash, and then he would run stolen credit card information for it until he couldn't do it anymore, and then toss that number. He's probably has a list of numbers and does this for cash paying customers. And and this is what we in the restaurant industry we call it juggling brunches. Like if there's a static item, brunch, pop, server, something that a server can get, they can, if somebody pays cash, they can boop, take that item, send it over to someplace else. I don't want to promote that. It'll make people. I had an idea of a way that you'd never get caught, but I don't want to promote that for thieves. God, I should be a thief. I'd be fucking good at it. Nobody'd fucking catch me because these people are fucking stupid. But either way, they get away with it. So I put in a fraud thing, and then Wells Fargo was like, "Nah, everything looks good." So I called fraud department. We called fraud department, me and my local banker, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't tell you why we decided this way. All we can say is that you need to take it up with the other person in the dispute." And I'm like, the other person in the dispute is the fucking thief. So you told me to F off and go take it up with the thief. So now I gotta do like FDIC, I don't know, put in a claim there or something. I tried to talk to them. They won't, everything's electronic. So, and my phone is fucking acting up the whole time. I got 2 goddamn new phones in the last year. Both of them are a piece of shit. All of the whatever, I'm not going to go down the whole monopoly thing and collusion thing, but like all of the cell companies got together and they don't offer any more, new, transfer deals or anything. They all went back to the leases, where you gotta lease a phone for 3 years. You only pay $8 a month. Well, that's fucking $400 for a phone that I'm not gonna have in 3 years. I've never had a phone last longer than 3 years. I've never had a phone last longer than a year. Who the fuck are you kidding? Oh no, it's free except your lease commitment. Okay, well then why is the lease commitment changed? It's $8 a month for that phone, but my lease commitment is $24 a month for that phone. Well, and I was sitting there and they fleeced this poor old man. This poor old man went in there, and this fucking guy, Verizon. I've been bopping around between Boost and Metro, and I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna go into one of the big guys, succumb to the beast, buy a free phone. And I'm in there, and they're now doing they used to greet you right away, but now they're trying to copy Apple. So they, ignore you, and then a girl comes up and puts you into a wait thing and, into her computer and stuff. And I'm sitting there, and right away I was like, ooh, they don't have prices on their phones anymore. So that's pretty much not a good start. And I could kind of hear the stuff that the reps were saying. And this poor old man, I hear this guy go, okay, so just to recap it, then you're getting this tablet, which is a $800 value. That is going to be free. And then this Apple Watch is another $800 value, and that will also be free. And I'm like, oh man, they are signing this motherfucker up for like $100 a month, and he's on a set income. He doesn't know what's happening. Man, it fucking makes me angry, unless maybe the old man's only thinking optimistically. Maybe the old man has just a couple of weeks to. Maybe he doesn't have long, so he's like, fuck it. No, it's not happening. He's getting taken advantage of. Oh, man. This shit shouldn't be happening. Our government should be fucking regulating what these cell phone companies are doing. It's collusion. They all start practicing the same practices at the same time. Fucking phones. Hockey is shit. The job is shit. The job, I just quit. I had to pay these dudes so much money for landscaping, and they just fucked our shit up. I swear to God, I went down there and I was like, I think this is the finished product, because they pulled their trailers out of there and locked up the gate and everything, and they kind of did a cleanup job, but it's fucking comical. They did not treat or rip up the weeds before they laid down the weed barrier, and then they drove all over the weed barrier dumping rocks, so they ripped it up like crazy. And then while they were distributing the rocks on top, they ripped it up. Oh my God, they were so. We had stumps that they're supposed to remove, and most of them they just cut down. and one of them, the stump is a good 6 inches above the ground, and they just fucking covered it with the weed barrier tarp. Didn't cut it down anymore, didn't cut a hole around the tarp, so the tarp's like poop up like this, and there's all this air, and then they just threw rocks on top of it. And I think we paid, there was a bid, if I remember correctly, the original bid was like $20,000 or some shit like this. And this is a private company that we use because they're cheap. Just a fucking shit, but I don't care because I quit. So that's nice. Aki's a fucking my one fucking time of the week where I can just relax and not worry about shit has been stolen. I'm not playing hockey. I'm not captaining anymore. We had, well, I'm not captaining because I can't get a fucking response from any of my guys, but not playing hockey just because of the shit fucking year it was. I used to skate with this team, and it was great because, we just wanted to have fun. We'd go out, we'd get fucking killed sometimes. We were kind of middle, bottom, rung team, but once we get into the playoffs, we could do some damage, which is the name of the game, especially in a rec league. I'm in a D League rec league. We are the fucking worst hockey players in the country, right? And now, the last couple of years, people are just taking the shit way too seriously. There are dirty plays basically every week. Uh, this season in one league, there was a play right at the end where a team tied it up and they were going to a shootout, and they were scrambling at the end of the game and before the buzzer blew, and dude was like sliding on the ice, and another dude like tomahawked him in the chest and busted up his ribs. Um, this year on my team, I've got an instigator, um, who just plays hard. He doesn't play dirty. He plays hard and he chirps. And chirping is part of hockey. But a girl lost her. Well, no, even before that, um, a captain on another team fucking slashed him in the helmet as he was skating away, behind his back, in the fucking head, hit him in the head. And he did it like a minute before that, too, same shift. And fuck, man, this is D League hockey. We have families. I've been on the shit end of the stick. The Tens, my current team, when we were an expansion team in this other league with the Tomahawk Chop, we got double stacked again. We got stacked up against the other expansion team. The other expansion team was this group of friends that had been playing forever. So they came in and started fucking shit up. They also let the other teams pick up free agents that year. So we got loaded with the bottom rung players. And we were getting our ass kicked like 9-0, 10-1. And not once did I ever think about cheap shotting the opponents. Bottom line is I'm just playing hockey and I'm having fun, and it's good to be out there skating. It sucks when you get your dick kicked on the ice, but it's still hockey, man. Fuck it. So this team that I was on, the Strange Brood, which I used to love and root for. I'd go to other. I once I moved away for Rona, and then couldn't get back onto their team. And I'd still cheer for them. I'd show up early or late to games if I know they're skating. I always a huge advocate. They branch off and have a sister team at this different location. And about 5 games into the season, they're called the Nads, which is funny because that was the name of the original team, and they had to replace it because some girl got offended, and now they have a bunch of girls, which is awesome. They have like 3 married couples on their team, which is really, really cool. But one of them is a bitch. So the Nads branch off on this and play hockey D League at this other arena. And about 5 games into the season, this dude reaches out to me from that arena. And he's like, hey man, I heard you were interested in playing hockey. I got this team that's stacked up with C players, but I'm trying to get rid of them, da 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 da. We're just trying to keep this league alive. And I go, sure, yeah, I'm in. So I join up, and one of the teams that we play against is the Nats. And the first time we played them, so the first game I went, this team that I'm on had a bunch of really good people, like B, C type players. Now every league now, D League, every team has a handful of C guys. In C League, every team has a handful of B guys, and it's the people that fill up the stats and just ultra competitive that people bitch about. Normally, these guys that are really good play hockey the right way, and that's good because that makes you better. You always want a little bit of skill disparity in these leagues, and it's never been an issue. But this league just kind of sucks. They really don't have any. Yeah, they've got a few ringers, Johnson and Wally and Crafty, but they just are turned into a bunch of bitches, fucking griping about everything. But before that, this team that I joined had a bunch of good players, but they wouldn't try. They're just there solely because this team didn't have any fucking people, So the captain's like, dude, just anybody could come out and skate. We need people, we're trying to keep this league alive. And so this team, so I come in and I'm watching these guys, that's not fair. They're like B and C players, but I get it, and we play my old team, the Nads, and they just throw a fucking conniption fit. Bunch of shit goes down. Turns out one of their fucking goons, Brad, hit 2 of my guys in the handshake line, which I fucking cannot stand. Juwan Howard, go fuck yourself. But I didn't know about that before, right? So this team, I think we beat them like 6-3 or something like that, 7-2 maybe. I don't know, who knows? But they lose their shit, and they start doing childish shit where they're taunting, slashing like crazy. And meanwhile, our team's like, our captain's like, hey, keep clean, don't shoot. He even put out like rules to the ringers, like, you guys can't score in the first 2 periods, that kind of shit. And side note, the same team, the Nads, beat my team like 7-1 the first game of the season. So in this league, it turned out was a lot of, there was good parity in this league. It was a good league. But this team, the Nads, kind of fucking ruined it. And the other team, the Rubber Puckies, kind of ruined it too. They lost their shit too, but it was way ultra competitive. This is the one guy that took the slash to the back of the head. They'd have this one dude who was fucking skating, and he just all of a sudden started fucking cross-checking me out of the blue, and I was like, what the fuck is your problem? And da-da-da-da-da. I turns out, and then I kind of lost my shit later on, but I when I go out, I try to be an ambassador. I'm like chirping, just having fun, joking with people. And it turns out I drink with the guy that he skates with at the bar afterwards, and he told me, he was like, I go, yeah, that fucking 71 or whatever his number is. It's like, that dude, he's got some he's got some shit going on at home that he needs to like address. And he goes, yeah, he came up to me on the bench and was bad mouthing you, like being a cheap shot. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, that's what I said. He was like, yeah, I was like, he's like, that's Jesus. He's either drunk or high. He's not gonna. He's just having fun, da 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 da. So his own teammate was like, he's not a cheap shot, blah 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 blah. So, but, yeah, this guy just loses his shit on everybody, every TA against everybody that he plays. I mean, you shouldn't be playing D-League hockey if you're that competitive about it, man. So, anyways, on a tangent, the Nads, they fucking lose their shit, right? And so I go up, talk to a couple of them. I'm like, guys, we're just trying to keep the league going, man. Do you want to forfeit every other week? If we don't have these B-C players here, we have like 4 fucking D-League skaters. They sit at the blue line. They don't play defense. If they do catch a pass on a breakout, they won't press it. Like, what the fuck is your deal? Like, we're just trying to play hockey. I go in the next week and I try to, because we're short skaters, I'm like, hey, if any of you guys want to skate the next game, with us, we're short players. And they all just are catcalling me. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I go, again, we're just trying to keep this fucking league going. Da-da-da-da-da. And I walk out the room and I hear Crafty, the fucking Two-Face, go, yeah, get the fuck out of here, fucking, and then fucking Hoffman, blah, 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 blah. I can fucking hear him. Which fucking pissed me off, because you're gonna fucking dap me up to my fucking face, and then, like, man up, bitch. So, the next game, and this fucking pissed me off right away in the next game. Oh no, that was the next season. I let Crafty run me. I was pretty drunk. But either way, I was like, whatever, dude. Like, if you want to fucking run through me, do it. I even sent a meme to their captain about the Kobe running through Vladi thing. Was it Vladi? No. Who was it? Oh, it was that goofy bastard. But either way, that Croatian, is he maybe? Damn, I can't remember his name. But where Kobe was like, I'm going to run right through his chest. I sent their captain this meme. But either way, when it happened, I was like, and I told my team, I was like, hey, whatever, if this is what they need to, like, fucking get over their shit, fine. But that was the next season. So back to the original season. After I fucking walked out of the locker room and I hung out in the hallway and heard him fucking badmouth me, I was fucking pissed. So on the bench, I'm venting about it, and my 2 littlest guys on the team go, oh yeah, that big dude hit me in the chest on the handshake line. And that's when I got super pissed. So after that game, I sent a bunch of really nasty fucking messages to all of them that I'm friends with. Like, fuck all of you guys. Fuck the Nads and fuck the Strange Brood. I've backed off that attitude on the Strange Brood because they've, like, not associated themselves with the Nads. A lot of people, a lot of the same guys play on the same teams, but the people that are on the Strange Brood are like, nah, we're not part of the Nads. They've kind of apparently the fucking people that take it way too serious have branched off, and that's the Nads. So, but so as the season went on, we started to get rid of the C players and then brought in more D players. And then their captain was like, "Hey man, you want to run the team next year?" I said, "Yeah." I didn't bring back any of their BC players. I have probably three. I started off with four ringers who, and one was just so good that I was like, dude, you just can't skate with us. But they all play hockey the right way. No, I don't have that many ringers. I have one ringer. But they play hockey the right way. They would, look to pass and everything like that. So this season, right away we get into it with the Nads. They lose their shit. And then right away we get into it with the Rubber Puckies. The Rubber Puckies have a bunch of daughters playing hockey, and they practice right before our league, I think. But either way, I know they play hockey. So they hang out after the game, and they always sit on their bench and cheer and stuff, and it's never been an issue. But right away this year, they were saying really nasty shit. This was the year that their 71 or 72 or whatever his number is started to lose his shit all the time. And my team is like, we're not cheap shots, but we're all like former military, like not give a fuck, and pretty goddamn decent when it comes to fucking throwing knuckles. So I don't. But we're playing hockey the right way, and we're just kind of taking it. So finally, in this past game with the Nads, I was like, well, the Rubber Puckies. So we're playing the Rubber Puckies, and these girls are chirping some witty shit, but it's hard shit. They're calling me. I hear them about my ponytail, and I'm a girl, and oh, you should be practicing with us, and I hear them. My ringer is cross-eyed. He's got this thing going on, but he's good. And I forget what number he is, like 47 or something. But this girl says, "Hey, number 47, I'm surprised you even know which puck to play." I was like, oh my god, that's fucking hard. Okay. But in the same game, I don't even know if he heard me. If for other reasons, like they were going after my boy, and so he was like, "Fuck it, you want to see what I can actually do?" And he was taking it like coast to coast multiple times, like shot on goal, get the rebound, bring it out of the zone, circle around behind our net, back into the zone, shot on goal. At one point, he was guarding the blue line, reversed stick, so he was butt ending it and actually fielded the puck with the butt end. He's fucking good. And all he does is just chill, And even if we're down or whatever, he plays a little harder, but it's never anything crazy over the top. But a couple of weeks before that, super chippy game, and their captain collides into my big grinder and fucking boom, cracks, like nails him, and then falls on the ice immediately because their captain is a bitch. He looks like a little tiny bowling ball, and my grinder is a huge Sasquatch of a young fucking 25-year-old. He can't fucking skate at all, but you put him in front of the net, and he does his job. So their captain collides with my young buck, And boom, I skate over to him right away. I'm like, hey, are you all right? He's like, not his fault, not his fault. I'm an idiot, da 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 da. I'm helping him off the ice. His team is chirping with my team. My team is turning the fucking other, not the other cheek, but they're like, fucking whatever, fucking step off, da 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 da. I end up helping their captain off the ice. Nobody else on their team fucking came over and helped him off. I helped the dude off the ice and into his locker room, and then I'm dressing, and all of a sudden, and I forget what this bitch's name is, Weinberg. I helped their captain off the ice, Weinberg, and I'm in my locker room, and I hear, hey, you gotta come out here right away. There's a fight. Da 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 da. So I run out there. We break things up. Da 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 da. I find out Weinberg's story, the reason why he decided to cause a fight in the lobby, was he heard my guy call a fan a cunt. So Mr. Weinberg tried to play off that one of my guys called either his wife or his daughter a cunt. And then he went back on his story and he was like, no, he called me a cunt. But I don't like that language around my family, was his thing, right? When did he call you that word? And he said, when I was coming off the ice. And I go, okay, well, I helped you off the ice. And I definitely never heard the C word mentioned. And then talking to my guy later, who, by the way, is a trained fighter and would have destroyed this dumpy Weinberg character. I talked to my guy later, and my dude's like, oh my God, he's like, I called him a cuck. He was chirping at me, and I go, yeah, you want to act like a cuck? I'll treat you like a cuck. And I'm like, yep, that's good chirping. I love it. So fast forward to now a couple weeks later, my instigator, who is now just skating hard. He's usually not chirping too much, but he does it under his breath. I told him laugh at him. I go, when they fucking come after you now, just laugh at them. It'll drive them crazy. So this dude fucking two-hand slashes him to the helmet as he's skating away. It wasn't hard, but either way, dude, it's your stick. Up in the head is and if hockey, you see slashes to the leg, to the body all the time. You never see it to the head. You fucking hit somebody in the neck, and they might not be fucking walking. And we all have families. This asshole Weinberg slashes my guy in the head as he's skating away, and gets a 5-game suspension. The dude that tomahawked the other dude and busted up the guy's rib got a 5-game suspension. And all of these games are live barn. You can pull them up and see the footage, see what happens. The fact that there are assholes out here taking a beer league, D-League game this seriously, where we're fucking pulling this shit with sticks. Hockey is that kind of shit is unspoken. I had the same attitude when Aaron Donald did it with the Rams. That kind of shit is unspoken. That's weaponizing your equipment. I remember when I was in high school, I was a sophomore, and we were taking a bus somewhere, played football, and what was that tight end's name? Man, he was fucking good. Country, just a good old boy, country boy. We'd warm up. He'd go in the gym and catch balls one-handed. Did he do it both hands? I can't remember, but man, that guy was a fucking beast. He should have been taken advantage of. more. Not taken, but the coach should have taken advantage of that matchup more. You have somebody like that, I would have fucking pumped him. We had this coach who would only do like the read option. It was like the quarterback option run 21 buck or off the. But we had a lot of talented guys at my high school. My senior year, I started talking to one of my buddy about like how much talent we had my senior year, and me and another dude were the only guy that played. But all because of their head coach. But yeah, where the hell? What? Oh, yeah. So I'm on the bus, and Trevor Kleinsmith, and I'm on the bus joking around with somebody because I didn't give a fuck. I was a little shit back then. Joking around about something about taking my helmet off and crowning them with it. Da 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 da. And I remember Trevor turned around and was like, "Yeah, then you'd be in jail." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "That's fucking assault." Yeah, I don't think he didn't swear, but he was like, "That's assault." And like turned back around in the bus. I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay. I think that was the only time that he'd ever said anything to me while playing football. His sister ended up marrying one of my really good buddies, and we're like friends now, and we're cool. And I'm friends with a lot of his family. But yeah, back then I just transferred. Anyways, yeah, but that was one of those unspoken rule things where it's like, dude, you don't, that's not something you do. Up to the head is not something you do. And there was a bunch of shit after that. There was another fight amongst those two shitty teams. The Rubber Puckies and the Nads played each other, and then there was another fight because I guess some guy went into the corner too aggressively to get a loose puck. That was the Nads bitching. And so the owner of the arena said, "You know what? Fuck it. That's it." He goes, "I get emails from you captains all the time, and it's not me. It's not the All-Stars. It's the Rubber Puckies and the Nads." He's like, "Yeah, every week I get fucking da 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 da." He's like, "We're done. No more." So we play the Nads last game of the season, and the way that the playoffs are stacked up is we're going to play them again next week, this past week, which I didn't play because I knew we'd lose if I went and played. So we're playing them the last game of the season, and this chick right away starts going after my instigator. Okay, right away. And we're not a few minutes into it. We're about to face off, and they're standing there, and she just slashes the shit out of them. And after, everything settles down, we're waiting for the face-off again. I'm talking to the guy from the Nads, who I don't know, and I go, "What the fuck is your chick's problem there?" He goes, "You deal with all that shit all game long, all season long." I go, "What shit? There was no dirty play. There was nothing." Yeah, chirping. I go, "She was mad because he kept the puck in the zone, and he did it by aggressively skating, by hustling. She's mad that he hustles? She's mad that he shouldn't be playing in this league. He hasn't fucking scored. He hasn't scored all season. He's got like 2 goals all season." "I know, because he's playing center now. I moved him to center, and you've got more of a defensive mentality. He doesn't score that much. He plays defense." So he goes, "Oh, I'm just glad she stuck up for herself. I'm proud of her." Stuck up for herself? We didn't fucking say anything to her. We didn't call her a name. She stuck up for herself in her quest against playing hustling hockey? I'm confused. But either way, you guys fucking suck. So they ruined a league. League's done. It's over. because of a bunch of whiny bitches in D League. And it's funny because the reason why they went to that league was because all of their, personal lives and stuff, it was a late night, Thursday night league. It was the only league that they could skate in. So go fuck yourself. Got this weird fucking hand thing. For the last 3 weeks, my fingers have been like spasming and seizing. It like looks like a bruise, but it's not. My veins are like, I don't know. I hope it's not back related, man. All of my back is like lower leg shit, but I realize that it's been fucking up my arm now too. All right. Things have got to get better. Yeah, so when shit like this happens, and this happens a lot, this hurricane of shit, I just put my head down, try to roll with the punches, hang out a lot at home with the dogs. I know I've said before that they're a great thing for therapy, but also a crutch. When I get up and all shit hits the fan the very next day after a couple of weeks of shit hitting the fan, I just go, fuck it, I'm gonna turtle, and I head home. Sometimes I get up and enough shit goes wrong here where I'm like, fuck it, getting back in bed with the boys. Nothing bad's gonna happen when I'm in bed with the boys, except for credit card fraud. and gremlins taking over my truck. And Balthazar. Oh, and I had the Rona. That's never good. Well, it's good for diet. Back in my day, we called the Rona getting sick. Yeah, but sick. Now we call it the Rona. I would call it coronavirus. Yeah, so I've been really sick. That's been going around. Went to Walmart to get a dual pack of day and night NyQuil, Dayquil, normal bottles. $21. Fucking A. But hey, guess what? We're all in this together. Black, white, Asian, spectrum, straight, gay. Except for the rich. You fuckers are out to get us. But nobody realizes that's what it is. It's not a race war. It's rich versus white. Peace out.